The objective of this lesson is to be able to recognize angle measures as additive by decomposing and composing angles. Let's go over some vocabulary. In previous lessons, students learned how to draw and measure right, obtuse, and acute angles. For review, an obtuse angle is larger than a 90-degree angle or square corner. An acute angle is smaller than a 90-degree angle or square corner. The vertex is the point where the line segments meet when forming the angle. A ruler or the straight edge of a protractor needs to be used when making angles as well as decomposing them. The degrees of each of the smaller angles are added together to find the total degrees that make up one large angle. For example, look at the following angle. See how the 90-degree angle has been decomposed into two smaller angles with an angle of 30 degrees and an angle of 60 degrees? This is how these angles are read and written. Angle CDF equals 90 degrees. We can see the angle CDE equals 60 degrees. Angle EDF equals 30 degrees. And together the two angles equal 90 degrees. Let's look at another angle that has been decomposed and total up the different angle measurements. Angle XYZ is made up of three smaller angles. In order to find the measurement of angle XYZ, we need to add up the three smaller angles. If we want to find the measurement of angle XYB, then we need to add the two angle measures of 50 and 34 for a total of 84 degrees. It would be written like this. Angle XYB equals 84 degrees. If we want the total degrees of all three angles, we would add all three of the angles together. Angle XYZ would be the measure of the three angles 50 degrees, plus 34 degrees, plus 20 degrees, for a total of 104 degrees. Now let's decompose an angle. Look at the 100-degree angle. We will use the straight edge of the protractor to draw a line coming out from the vertex. Draw another line from the vertex so this angle is decomposed into two more smaller angles. Now we have decomposed the 100-degree angle into three smaller angles. Let's give each angle a label by drawing a dot and letter on each ray of the large 100-degree angle. Let's label them A, B, and E. Let's label the two inner rays C and D. Now we will measure each angle using the protractor. Remember, these are acute angles, so the numbers we find on the protractor will be less than 90 degrees. Let's first measure angle ABC using the protractor. Placing the protractor along the first ray of the angle, we can see that it measures 35 degrees. Draw an arc and label it with 35 degrees. Next, measure and label the second angle, CBD. We can see that this angle measures 50 degrees. Last, let's measure the last angle, DBE. We can see that this angle measures 15 degrees. Together, these angles total 35 plus 50 plus 15 equals 100 degrees. Another way to practice decomposing angles is to place at least two different pattern blocks together, then trace and measure the angles. Let's use the brown right trapezoid and the purple right triangle and place them together. We can trace the outside angle and label it angle ABC. Next, we can remove the purple right triangle and trace the left side of the brown right trapezoid to create two angles. Mark the ray with a dot towards the end and label it D. To find the measure of the outside angle, ABC, we have decomposed it into two smaller angles. Let's label the unknown angles X and Y. The Y angle looks a lot like a right angle. Let's measure it to make sure it is 90 degrees. Yes, it is 90 degrees. Let's draw a square in the center of the vertex to remind us and label it as 90 degrees. We now know the measure of angle DBC. Last, let's measure the acute angle. Using a protractor, we can see that angle ABD, or the measure of angle X, is 30 degrees. When we add the two measures together, we have angle ABD plus angle DBC, and together they equal the total measure for angle ABC. We can read the equation to represent the angles as 30 degrees plus 90 degrees equals 120 degrees. As students practice adding the angle measures together, they learn that angle measures are additive. The objective for this lesson was to be able to recognize angle measures as additive by decomposing and composing angles. We met this objective by tracing and drawing angles, measuring and adding decomposed angles together, and also by decomposing a large angle into smaller angles.